right. I'm ready to get them started. Sorry I'm late, y'all. All right. Get them started.
Those of us that indulge in or commit intellectual violence don't do so for the pleasure of mental masturbation or ego diddling. We do so because the chains of oppression on our people's minds are deep and difficult to remove.
All right. Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM. I'm your third eye optometrist and host, Patrice Gibbs. And look, we're going to get it started. I'm going to get right to it today. Oh, hold up. You know what? Let me go ahead and get this out the way right quick. All right. Come on in.
Hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the policy or position of WHGE 95.3 FM, nor our sponsor, the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets. Any content provided by Open Eyes hosts, guests, or contributors are theirs and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, company, or individual.
Yes, your third eye optometrist. I'm going to start right here. What's up, boy? Brother Harlan? All right. She set my foot on the path to knowledge, shaped my minds and my morals, made sure I knew and understood who I am and why. I met God. She raised me. My eternal gratitude for giving me life and teaching me how to live. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. All right. Well, I'd like to thank Sister Tracy Johnson for this list that she gave us. Black scholars who completely destroy and debunk all Eurocentric propaganda of history and religion propaganda. The basic lists, you should have all books and lectures in your study. This is your beginning. On that list, Dr. Chank Anta Diop, Dr. John Henrik Clark, Dr. Marimba Ani, Dr. Amos Wilson, Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Joseph Van Yachanan, Dr. Anthony Martin, Dr. Chancellor Williams, Dr. George G.M. James, and Ashra Kwasi. All books and lectures. This is where you begin your study. All right? Wake up and open your mind. I'd like to add a name to that list. Okay? What's up, Jakim? The name I'd like to add to that list is someone that my mother introduced me to. Her work. My mother introduced me to her work. Okay, and that is Drusilla Dungy Houston. She was an African-American writer, historian, anthropologist, educator, journalist, musician, and screenwriter. She is from West Virginia. Drusilla Dungy Houston was a brilliant, very accomplished scholar, scientist, and activist. And Mrs. Houston was one of the earliest Black educators to research and teach on the subject of ancient Africa, publishing Wonderful Ethiopians of the Ancient Kushite Empire in 1926. tell you that book again. Wonderful Ethiopians of the Ancient Kushite Empire. She published it in 1926, Drusilla Dungy Houston. If you haven't read that, please do. It was my introduction to consciousness and understanding African history. Brother Jakeem said add Leonard Jeffries and Dr. Joy DeGruy to that list. I absolutely agree. Absolutely, brother. Moving right along, like as always, I start you off with a little history. George E. Johnson Sr. started Johnson Products with only $500 and became the first black-owned corporation listed on the American Stock Exchange in 1971. Anybody that watched Soul Train, you know about Johnson Products. That's right. First brother listed. SD. Yes, indeed. Oh, hey, good morning, Sherry. I see you, sister. Yeah. Oh, some more history. I got some more for you. We're going to get into some stuff today. All right. And this, I want to thank Brother Ernest Krim for this. If you have a child who hates reading, I get it. It's a quote from Brother Ernest Krim. But you need to let them know a couple of things. First, let them know that it was once illegal for them to read. Secondly, let them know that they descend from a black man named Ptahhotep, who wrote the first known book in history over 4,300 years ago. 4,300 years ago. And the book he offered was a book of wisdom that sounds like the book of Proverbs in the Bible. And it was dedicated to his son. For example, in one part of the book, he says, teach him what has been said in the past. Then he will set a good example to the children of the magistrates, and judgment and all exactitude shall enter into him. Speak to him, for there is none born wise. Show them this. When they think about knowledge, intellect, scholarship, ingenuity, they think of themselves and they see themselves, not the stereotypes proliferated in the media. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Yeah. All right. Moving right along. Yes, indeed. For those of you who don't know, WHGE 95.3 FM. Yeah, and I am your third eye optometrist. My glasses are fogging up and I can't see my stuff. Hold on. I'm playing some music right quick. And I'm going to come back to y'all. Hold on. Where is it? All right. I got to clean these glasses up. Jeez Louise. All right. Fogging up. I'm going to leave them off. I'm good. I'm nearsighted, y'all. All right. All right. I'm Patrice Gibbs, your third eye optometrist. Okay. I might have to go see a regular optometrist. I can see what the hell is going on. Colorism in our community, in our society, has been an issue that we have dealt with since the plantation. I myself have some personal experiences with that. Being a dark-skinned black man, grew up in the 70s, I was considered unattractive because of my darkness. I could remember kids calling me Black Pat. And I could remember how I felt about that, it hurt my poor little soul that people would tease me about my darkness because I had nothing to do with that. I remember I told my grandmother I wish I was light-skinned. She said, oh, baby, my grandmother's dark too. She said, let me tell you something. Your darkness is a blessing and an honor. You were burnt in God's own furnace. I've been good ever since. Not all of our people have evolved from that. Let me tell you how. Have you ever heard of the Blue Vein Society? The Blue Vein Society, which admitted only mulattoes to improve their lot while barring entry for dark black people, for dark Africans. Some hold that following George Walker Bush's disastrous reign as American president, when the powers that be finally realized that a new shift was needed by welcoming the first African-American president in Barack Obama, the shade of blackness nonetheless had to be fair and not jet black like myself. Okay? During the slavery period in the UK and US, although blacks or Negroes were generally ill-treated, slave owners or masters also had their way with the African woman. The result was the emergence of mulatto or half-caste or mixed-race babies. To serve as a layer against attacks, the mulattoes were slightly better treated or given privileges like serving in the inner chambers of the house on the plantation and getting gifted discarded clothing of the white master and his wife. Aware that the hard labor and poor feeding they subjected their enslaved to, uprisings weren't far off, so the safety valve these powerful whites developed was to have mulattoes view themselves as superior to the deeply melanated, so their allegiance will lie with them rather than their fellow oppressed. What's up, Cousin Rod? All right. And they fell for that. So in a good number of countries on a hierarchical chain, while the whites occupied the top position, they were followed by mulattoes and then the darkies, so to speak. With the rank came access to wealth, education, health, economic empowerment, and security. While chattel slavery is officially no more, its remnants linger on. In many African states, one finds that preference is given fairer citizens than their dark counterparts. Even settling on a suitor is not spared, with a good number of ladies desiring to have mulatto babies. And it's no different here in the U.S. The mulattoes, to brighten their prospects, established many exclusive social clubs or societies to admit like-minded folks. One such group was the Blue Vein Society. It was formed by upwardly mobile African Americans whose skin was light enough to allow them to pass as white. The blue vein test was one of several that some light-skinned African Americans used to distance themselves from those who were darker. The paper bag test was a test in which one's skin color was compared to a paper bag. Only those who were the same color as the bag or lighter could gain membership in the group they were trying to join. They are purportedly named blue veins because the veins of eligible members had to be visible on their arms. The blue veins themselves note opportunities to qualify themselves for the membership. Well, what a bunch of crap that was. Because the whole thing was, if you white, you all right. If you brown, stick around. If you yellow, that's mellow. But if you black, get back. And that was the mindset. It's called slave mentality. WHGE 95.3 FM, the open eye. Patrice Gibbs, joined by my partner in consciousness, Nsoromma. Wagwan, brother.
Wagwan.
How you doing this morning?
Yeah. What's up, bro?
All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, let me get it moving right along here. I'm gonna get right to this here. All right. Okay. Oh, I was outside. I thought we was getting some feedback. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. Fortunately, some are born with spiritual immune systems that sooner or later give rejection to the illusory worldview grafted upon them from birth through social conditioning. Okay? That's called indoctrination. They begin sensing that something is amiss and start looking for answers. Inner knowledge and anomalous outer experiences show them a side of reality others are oblivious to, and so begins their journey of awakening. Each step of that journey is made by following the heart instead of following the crowd, and by choosing knowledge over the veils of ignorance. That's a quote from Andre Bergson. Now look, never forget, it wasn't the devil that used black babies as alligator bait and leather. It was the church folk. It was the evangelicals. Never forget, it wasn't heretics that took indigenous children and abused them, cut their hair, took their names, cooled them in ovens, or cooked them in ovens. It was church folk. Okay? And I know some people say, wow, like, you know, you're hard on religion. You know, I mean, why are you making a big deal of this? Why does it matter? I'm going to tell you why. Okay? Christianity has been the major religion of the Western world for almost 2,000 years. Yet the Western world has been the cause of all the worst man has induced catastrophes in the world. World War I was started by Christians, in which more than 20 million people died. World War II was started by Christians, in which more than over 16 million people died. Over 1,000 in one day when Christians dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Christians conducted what was called the Holy Inquisition, where millions of people, known as heretics, declared so by the Catholic Church, because they said so, were burned at the stake at the hands of the Roman Catholic Church, a practice that continued for over 600 years and didn't end until the end of the 19th century. Christians conducted the African slave trade, where as many as 600 million Africans died over a period of 400 plus years, and it's still going on. The almost complete extinction of indigenous people of 3 continents, North America, South America, and Australia, by Christians. Christians are responsible for the polluted condition of the environment, which is causing millions of people worldwide to die prematurely. Christians created the human immune deficiency virus in a laboratory, which is known as AIDS, HIV, which has killed over 1 million people worldwide and infected close to 1 billion people to date. See, here's the thing, okay? I'm sound like I'm being hard on Christians,
right?
All right? But what you have to understand is Christianity is not their religion.
Say what? Say that again?
Christianity is not their religion. Their religion is white supremacy. That's their religion. Okay, Christianity is a tool of white supremacy. And as Dr. John Henry Clark teaches us about the major religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, they are male chauvinist murder cults. And they show you that with everything they do to our society and everything they do politically. Which brings us to Oh, look,
What?
I'm gonna hold this up. Wait a minute, I got
Say
it.
what?
Oh, I'm
Say
gonna,
what?
Oh yeah, oh, I'm gonna hold that up for a second right there. I got something for you.
All right.
We're gonna get right on to it. Okay. That's not it. Okay. That's all right. We know this week, with the big news that's been out here, okay?
Hit us up, 844-944-3953.
Yes,
WHGE 95.3. You dig?
come on in. Okay, the big news has been
What?
that the Supreme Court leaked a decision by, I guess he's the Alito, Supreme Court Justice Alito. I'm pretty sure he's the Chief Supreme Court Justice, where they pretty much let it be known that they are going to outlaw abortion. They are going to overturn Roe versus Wade. Okay? And now, yesterday, Nsoromma and I discussed this somewhat. And our views converge and separate to some point. Okay? Because I personally, and I'm having Nsoromma clarify his position on that. I personally am against overturning Roe versus Wade, outlawing abortion. And I believe that it's a woman's. I am personally against a woman having an abortion, especially for birth control and reasons like that. But I'm not birthing no babies. And I don't really feel that I have the right to say whether or not a woman has an abortion. I think that's a private decision that's up to her and the man that she's dealing with.
And you know what? That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Because, they're taking... You got to understand what America's doing, too, man. They trying to absolutely control.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute control.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, you should have your own right to choose if you want to have this baby or not.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, as the woman.
Mm-hmm.
As a male, if I participated and you call me and say it's mine or whatever, and, circumstances come to chance that we can't afford this and a decision that we both can make, I mean, it's your decision if you decide to keep it or put it up, give it up for adoption. I mean, whatever, that is your decision. And what they trying to do is deeper than this abortion. Once they take your rights to be able to say if I'm gonna have a kid or not, you understand?
This is where you're going, y'all.
This is deeper than just abortion.
Yep.
They're going after your gun rights. They're going after all your human rights. So if you ain't on point and understanding that it's always a magic show in front of the realness. You know what I'm saying? Right. The distraction is always there. And this is a real serious distraction, because if you can't have the right to say if you want a kid or not, you could have got raped or something. You could have got this kid by an unwanted way. And they saying you gotta have it. Man, come on, man. Who are they to say anything? They're not anybody but a human too.
Right.
So,
and they're not women.
Right,
because it's white men that are making this decision about women's bodies.
Right. Who are they anyway to make a decision about anyone?
That's right.
Period.
And they try to, how can I say? They try to manipulate black people into supporting this by bringing up Margaret Sanger, was the founder of Planned Parenthood and the eugenics, and her plan was to kill off black people.
Right, get them for organs and
and
bone marrow and stuff that they need it. We don't need this. We're perfect human specimens, and we heal, we generate. We regenerate like real fast.
Yeah, because all we got to do is go out in the sun,
right?
And that energizes our melanin, which energizes our natural
Right.
ability to heal.
I can get a cut the same day, and later on that day it'll be closed.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, Caucasians, can't do that.
Oh no, no,
And I
And
mean,
they can't stand
I'm
being
not a
on the side.
scientist. I don't know why, but
Well,
they
yeah,
are trying
yeah.
to find out why.
Yeah.
Believe that these
You
people
know?
with money.
You know what? Like I said, with this thing about
Wow.
Planned Parenthood. Of course, Planned Parenthood evolved. Yes, there are some Planned Parenthood sites,
Right.
and they were all primarily put in the black community. But Planned Parenthood provides more than abortions. Planned Parenthood provides, especially low-income women and black women, with health care that they may not otherwise get. Don't get it mixed. Planned Parenthood isn't killing children. You're thinking of the NRA. All right? You're mixed up there. You're thinking of the NRA. And you know what?
The NRA,
Yeah, the National Rifle Association, or National Redneck Association.
Redneck
That's
Association.
what the hell it is. Yeah, the National Redneck Association.
And so they killing the guy.
Well, see, here's the thing with the National Redneck Association.
When you're a gun owner,
That's supposed to support you.
right.
Okay? Remember Breonna Taylor's boyfriend?
Yeah.
He had a legal gun. He shot one of the cops. The NRA allegedly supports those who use guns legally in protection of themselves. So all the controversy that surrounded that, the NRA, you heard a number of crickets. They have a damn thing to say, and they never do when it's a black person. That's why I call them the National Redneck Association. And I want to get back to this abortion thing. Okay? Now, what they're saying, these evangelicals, and what have you, and we're going to touch on that too,
Okay.
right, is that life begins at inception. The second that woman is pregnant, that's a life. Okay?
Right.
Now, of course, they want to use the Bible because they're evangelicals to support what they say. And the thing is, these dumb-ass, ignorant morons have not even read the Bible because it says in the Bible, I have to search where, but it says in the Bible,
Okay.
if you should slap a pregnant woman and she loses the child, okay, you will be given a fine. Now the Bible is eye for eye. Okay? So if you're only given a fine, that means you did not take a life. Okay? Because like I said, the Bible is eye for eye. If you kill the woman who is pregnant, your life is forfeit. You see the difference? Look, and here's the thing, though. If life starts at inception, if it's a person, the second they're impregnated, the woman is impregnated, then shouldn't child support start then?
I don't get how they go through the whole. If immaculate conception begins at the beginning, bam, you pregnant, and from that point, that's the time your birthday starts. And then when you go the whole 9 months, why do when the baby come out they start at 0?
All right, they should be 9 months old then, right?
It should be 10 months.
Okay.
It's coming into the world now on the 10th month.
Oh, right.
And whenever their born day is. You know, I mean, that's the whole conception and misconception. They do what they want because we remember, you said this early on the radio, it was against the law for us to read. It was against the law for us to have knowledge. So they would do and say whatever it felt like it was they wanted to say. If you was out on a plantation and it was 5 o'clock, they'd say it's 12 noon.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Keep going.
You know, so
Yeah.
you got to understand the manip of how easy they was doing it to us because we didn't have an information channel or information source. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
It's messy, man, for
You
real.
know? Yeah. You know, I mean,
Now for them to tell them,
Could
yo,
you be-
you can't have no baby.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
if you get pregnant, you can get pregnant by a dog or something. You know, they do it to animals. So you then what? You
Oh,
start
my
having
God.
People with
I
horse bodies and human heads.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, what is coming back?
Yeah,
I mean, they try. I don't understand them.
I don't either. And you know what? It was about babies. It was really about babies.
Right.
Okay? We have excellent and free universal maternal health care.
Right. They never talk about nothing that helps the people.
No,
None of them
it's not about the
politicians.
people.
Right. It's
You
all
know?
about filling their pockets up and keeping their houses up. You know? And that's messed up.
Right.
We vote for these people in the play, and then you want to kill me.
You know?
What kind of stuff is
Look,
that?
if it was about the babies,
Wow.
you wouldn't be charged a cent to give birth, no matter how complicated your deliveries was. If it was about babies, we'd have months and months of parental leave for everyone. If it was about babies, we'd have free lactation consultants, free diapers, free formula. If it was about babies, we'd have free and excellent child care from newborns on. If it was about babies, we'd have universal preschool and pre-K and guaranteed after-school placements. But it's not about babies.
If it was about babies, we'll have jobs for our youth and places for them to go to get trades and educational experience and work experience. You know, vocational schools. They closed all of that down in our community.
Oh yeah.
When we was coming up, we had this.
Yes,
we can go get an electrician skill, a plumber skill, you know, mechanics. None of this is going on now. And when you're done school, you can go to the boys' club and get more insight and more positive influence. You know, now they shut this stuff down purposely.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that's crazy.
Of course it is.
They want to keep us
Because it's not about baby. You know what it's about?
What?
You know what it's about? I'm gonna tell you this right here.
Tell me, man.
All right. It's about them being afraid to be the minority. That's what it's about. Look, Jane Elliott, she broke this down. Okay, there's a book called The Birth Dearth. This book came out in the 1970s. All right. And it was by a cat named Ben Wattenberg. Who wrote the book.
Okay.
He was an advisor to President Johnson. Okay. And he said, you know, the birth rate of white women is low. And we got to do something about that. Because these minorities, especially these blacks, they're having babies. And, you know, we're not slowing them down. We can't just, you know, push this eugenics thing and make that happen. Now, he said there's 3 ways to solve the problem. Number 1, we could pay women to have babies, as they've been doing in Western Europe nations for years. But the thing is, unfortunately, and these are his words, unfortunately,
Right.
we would have to pay women of all colors to have babies, so we don't want to do that. The second thing we could do is increase the number of legal immigrants allowed in this country every year. Unfortunately, majority of those coming to this country are people of color, so that's not a good idea either.
Right.
So, with 60% of abortions being white women, we have to outlaw abortion. That's what we got to do. Okay? The third thing is remember that this 60% of the fetuses are aborted every year are white. If we could keep that 60% alive, we could solve the birth dearth. That's blatant racism. And now you look at the right to life movement, and all of a sudden you realize it's not about morality nor religion. It's about something immoral, which is limiting, increasing the number of white babies and letting that other 40% who are not white fetuses die. That's what it's about. And you know something that's interesting?
It's always been about that.
Yeah.
You know, when they was hanging back in the day, because they wasn't always hanging, because they needed these workers to work on their plantation. So when when they let them go free, that's when they started the police and the Ku Klux Klan to go get these free people that's loitering and all this other stuff to lock them
The
back
slave
up.
patrol.
Yeah, you know.
And of course the Klan came after slavery.
Right, and And during the Klan time, when they was taking and hanging these people, they hanging our black people, right? They were bringing their kids. So when they bring their kids, they train their kids to have no remorse or feeling for this black man that's hanging.
That's right.
Black people.
Oh, yeah.
So now that's been passed down. They not care or have no feeling for the murdering things that I do to this particular people.
Right.
You can kill a puppy and they'll feel more remorse and all that for that puppy than this human being.
That's right.
So you gotta understand how bad the
mindset.
Yeah, the mindset. These are the people they don't have white seats on. They have business suits on now. And they have no remorse.
None.
So that's why you're seeing all of this stuff happen right now. You know what I'm saying? It's messy.
And you know what?
Messy.
Here's the thing, right? This is why they don't want CRT taught. Okay? And it's not CRT that they don't want taught. It's our history that they don't want taught. The history of America and the history of themselves. Okay? And what they try to do is, when you see photos of things that went on in the recent past, the photos are in black and white to give you the impression that this happened a long, long time ago.
No, it happened. No.
Yeah. And that it was their great-great-grandmother and grandfather.
They make the picture all black and white and cracked up and all of that.
Yeah, that's BS. All right? Yeah. And they want to give you an impression that, it was their great-great-grandmother way back in here. No, it wasn't. I'm going to tell you who it was. It was your grandma and your mom out there spitting on black students trying to go to school.
Yeah.
It was your grandfather and your father on the police force for generations murdering black people. And it's you and your children that are keeping this going.
Right. So if you're not the one to make the change, or not the one to stand up, or not the one to teach your family different, to teach your family that, this is a human being. This is a human being.
Right.
You understand? A human being. Period.
That's right. Now, tell you this.
Oh my God.
All right. With this abortion thing. Right.
Which is coming down to another human being.
Right. White women are much more upset about this than black women. And white women are calling on black women to join them in this battle against having autonomy on their own bodies. Okay? And you got a lot of black women saying this ain't our fight. And understand that. I'll tell you something else, too. This is something interesting.
But it is our fight. It's dealing with our rights.
Yeah, it is.
It's not about the baby. You have to understand that.
Right.
The topic may sound like baby. It's about the baby had a right to live.
Right.
But what about if the baby's deformed?
Right.
What about if the mother?
Or what if it's a child of incest, or as you said earlier, a child of rape?
What about if the mother can feel that this child's going to be a demon and she don't want this child?
Hey,
it's all kind of things.
But like I said,
can go on.
Now white women and a lot of black women are saying it's not their fight. But I understand where they're coming from, because joining in with white women has never been beneficial to black women.
True.
As these white women are white supremacists themselves, don't get that mixed.
Right.
Now here's what white women have done. Okay? They have usurped Tupac's song, Hold Your Head Up, as their theme song. And, what they're doing is they're taking lines, they're editing stuff, okay?
But
check this out now. All right? And they're taking the line, and since we all came from a woman, got our name from a woman, our game from a woman, I wonder why we take from our women, why we rape our women, do we hate our women? I think it's time to kill for our women, time to heal for our women, and be real for our women. And they cut it off right there. Okay? Let me tell y'all something. And this is for you, sister. This is for you, queen. Tupac wrote that song for you.
Only.
Specifically. Because what they left out was the line was, I say the darker the flesh, the deeper the roots. I missed the line. Some say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Yes,
right.
Lord.
Right. I mean, that's what they always do. Just like the police with the Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter. I mean, it wasn't about that. Blue lives ain't getting killed at random.
That's
you
word.
understand? Blue lives can go home at the end of their shift.
That's word.
You know, it's no comparison to that. But they take and then flip it all around and do the bamboozle, stoodle, goozle thing to us, and then put it back in your face and go, "What about us?"
Yeah.
And I who cares about you? You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry to say, but I agree with you on that.
It's like that's just it. You
That's
never
it.
cared about us. So what we need to start caring about ourselves and not even caring if you do care about us, because we're taking care of ourselves.
And before we can take care of anybody else, we got to heal home.
Right.
You got to take care of home first.
It's crazy out here.
You know. But listen,
Yeah.
I want to expand on what Nsoromma was saying when you know I had said that black women are saying this isn't our fight. This is beyond just this abortion thing, okay? Because they have a majority of conservative Republican devils on the Supreme Court.
Of course.
Okay.
Everything's
on the table.
Justice on the court was a slave owner.
Yeah.
Everyone.
You know?
Except the one, the one.
Katanji.
Nah, the black dude.
Oh, Thurgood Marshall.
Yeah, except nah, ain't there another one on there now?
Who? Uncle Thomas.
Yeah, Clarence
Clarence, yeah.
Clarence,
Yeah, Clarence
He's the only
Thomas.
one that wasn't a slave owner.
Yeah.
That's the Supreme Court justice.
No, he wasn't a slave owner, but I tell you what he
He was
was.
Ruckus.
Uncle Ruckus. That's right. Oh yeah, he was somebody that Harriet Tubman could have shot his ass. You could bet that. Oh yeah, she'd have shot his ass. Okay, but like Nsoromma said, it's beyond abortion. It's about not only abortion, because everything's on the table now. Look for them to overturn Brown versus Board of Education. Now, they're not going to be outright and blatant with it, but what they're going to do is they're going to privatize all schools. That's next. They're going to kill public education because they're educating too many black people.
Already.
No, well, not quite, but it's on the way. They pretty much have destroyed public education because it's nothing but indoctrination now.
Right.
You
They
know?
did that already.
Yeah.
Jane Elliott tell you that.
Yeah. That if you're being educated in America, you're being indoctrinated.
Most definitely.
That's word. You know, be aware of that, okay? Now, like I said, you know, they're going to be outlawed. They're going to, like I said, everything's on the table. Watch out, Brown versus Board of Education. Watch out, it's numerous laws I can't even think of right now because I'm a little excited.
Right.
But, like I said, see, here's their goal. Their goal is to create a theocracy in America. What is a theocracy?
I was getting ready to ask that.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, a theocracy, right? You know, a theocracy is a state or a country or a government that is controlled by religion. And it's by the religion of a very few who have decided that their religion matters more than anybody else. Right. You know, like I said, don't get it mixed. White nationalists, evangelical nationalists, patriots, and this, that, and the other, they're all white supremacists, and that's their religion. They claim Christianity, you know, but their brand of Christianity has nothing to do with the teachings of the mythical figure Christ, Jesus Christ. Nothing to do with it at all. Okay? Because the last time that the world lived under governments that were theocracies, it was called the Dark Ages. Because the goal was most of the people were ignorant and only a select few could read, and those that could read and write, kings in Europe were uneducated and dumb and couldn't even read and write.
Right.
Okay? Only those in the Roman Catholic Church could actually read and write. And education, the literacy rate during the Dark Ages was like 2%.
And they trying to bring that back.
And they're trying to bring that back.
I mean, it's like 4% right now.
You would think so.
Right.
Because ignorance is celebrated.
Right.
The less you know, the better they like you. And you know what? I seen a video of Elon Musk, you know, who is no one to be celebrated, who said, You don't really need a college education to be. Remember, this dude owns a corporation where he wants his workers dumbed down. And he running around like he's some wise guru, all right? He's nothing but a spoiled, entitled asshole, okay? And corporatist who wants to make sure that his employees are dumbed down.
I never heard this.
Yeah. It's the deal.
I'm shocked.
Hey, I tell you what.
I thought he was about all the humanity rights that was the people supposed to have. I thought he was a more people, for the people to have still the freedoms that you're supposed to have as a universal human being, your universal human rights. That's what I thought he was going after, trying to keep him perspective, but still, making money. I mean, everybody want to make money.
Well, you know what? Like I said last week.
What?
Okay. Any fool that would spend $45 billion on his ego, well, that's what he did when he bought Twitter. That's what it was about. He would spend $45 on his ego because he don't want nobody.
He got $300 billion.
Yeah.
So if I got a problem with you and you talking that smack on the radio right now, and I hear you do that, and I make a phone call, boo, yo, Herman, I'm gonna give you $6 million for the joint. You with it? Herman gonna say, okay, no problem. And then we out of job.
And that's what.
I mean, that's loan money. That's what that's called. You understand?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and you know what using your money like that is?
Everyone wants that dream. I mean, that's the American dream that they doctrinize you with. And that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that that's the American way.
Yeah, it is. It's the American way.
And
the shut up
start doing that.
The shut up dissent. That's the American way. If you got somebody out there running their mouth against the status quo, and you got somebody out there and you can buy their platform for speaking and shut them down, okay. If you can't think.
But I just heard him say this today. Matter of fact, he said he bought Twitter for the simple fact that if it's freedom of speech and you say something that I don't like, and I have the right to be able to put you in timeout or put you in prison or put you on that, you can't get on YouTube or whatever, or Twitter for a week type thing or a month type thing, that's not freedom of speech. He wants to keep that out of the process. He wants you to be able to say what you say.
No, what he wants.
And if you say
a lying ass.
If you say that, let me tell you.
Okay.
He said, and if you say that, if you say something that don't nobody like, okay, it don't matter because it's only gonna stay up on the thing for a certain amount of time, that 24 hours. It's not going to be able to just go up there and stay up there. Everybody supposed to be deleted in 24 hours. So if you did see that in the next 24 hours, you won't see it again.
Right.
Unless they have to post it again. But now it's put up there and it's up there forever. You
that's
understand?
right.
And that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So if it's up there forever and people still see something that you wrote 4 years ago and you're not that person no more that you wrote it, I mean, it's still out there lingering.
Well, yeah, and I understand that. But understand this.
What?
His main motivation for purchasing Twitter was to keep people from criticizing him in the nefarious way that he, as an elite of the 1%, uses his money. This is the same bastard
that's
impossible. That's what he's doing. But that's what he's doing. That's his main motivation. Remember, this is the same bastard, that told the UN that if they could come up with a plan to end world hunger, he would take his money and do it. The UN came up with a plan that would cost $6 billion. And he said, I didn't say it like that. So that tells you right there that this is a fool that you cannot trust. And that his real aim is to control the propaganda, which is the real aim of all of these elite billionaires. This is why they keep buying up media and what have you, so that they could keep, look.
What?
when you have someone, especially in our community,
Okay.
that speaks out, what happens to them? Fred Hampton, Malcolm X, Dr. King.
You saying all people that's dead? Who's doing that now? Say some names that's doing that
My
now.
point
Say
is,
some names that's mattering right now.
Right.
It's always
my
someone
point
that's
is,
not
listen,
putting
listen,
in
what
right
you
now.
missing?
We need to put them in.
Listen,
right now.
what you missing
Who's doing
is,
something for the
listen,
city right
listen
now?
up,
Anybody,
brother.
any name.
Listen up, brother. You didn't understand what I said.
You said when they put in position, they
Right.
always seem to be taken out in some
And
type
that's
of way.
my point.
I'm saying who's in position now, and wherever state we're in, that's on the
I'ma
verge
tell
of
you who's in
helping
position
and about
now.
to be taken out.
I'ma
or that
tell
think
you,
is gonna
right.
be taken out.
Yeah, I'ma tell you who's in
that's
position
right
now.
now is where we're at.
Right, I'm gonna tell you who's in position now.
Okay.
All right, the Congressional Black Caucus, our black politicians, a bunch of goddamn cowards who do not speak up on our issues. That's who's in position now because they saw what happened in the past.
But who are
Hold
they?
up.
The names. I don't know the names.
Shoot. I
you
will
saying-
get you the list.
That's what I want.
Okay, I will get you the list of names
we can know
of
who these people are.
Who these people are, okay?
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, we're going to start with a couple right here. All right? Jim Coon Clyburn, supposedly the most powerful black man in Congress.
Okay.
Okay? And what did he say about police reform and defund the police? Stop sloganeering. You're going to make us lose our power. Okay?
Say that again, sir.
He said, stop sloganeering. You're going to make us lose our power.
Stop sloganeering?
Yeah, stop speaking up on these issues. This is what this coon said. And this is the powerful black man in Congress. All right? Nothing but a coward. He can go to hell.
I mean, when they get these positions and they put that money in their face and they got these electric bills and this car payment and this rent and their college school children and all this, they forget you. And they only see paycheck.
That's
and
right.
They only see responsibility and making that things keep running like smooth like it is.
Mm-hmm.
And we as a people and the thought of them being and helping them get in the position that they were in is out the window now.
Yeah.
They know this. This is the
You know what?
structure. And
Let me tell you
once
something.
the structure is structured, it's structured.
Right.
No
Let
matter
me
who
tell
you put
you
in there.
this. Let me tell you this.
Right.
All right. It was a sister running, I think, in Minnesota. She was running for the Senate.
Right.
All right. And someone had got wind of her strategy doctrine. And in that strategy doctrine, it said to get women's vote, make sure you speak on abortion and their issues. All right. To get
Another manipulation.
Yeah,
Right.
listen to this now,
I'm
because this is deep. This is how sorry these people are. All right, speak on women's issues, abortion, and what you're going to do about it. If it's Hispanic people,
Right.
speak on immigration. All right. If it's black people, just go to church and make them some promises. That's how sorry these people are. Look, we come around to the close, all right? 50 years, a trickle down has turned millionaires into billionaires and the working class into the working poor. Poverty is criminal. Okay? Now, I want to thank Brother Levert the Bassman for this information, for breaking this down.
Thank you, Brother Levert.
All right? Now, it's safe to say that crime has existed as long as humans have been on this planet.
True.
But did you know that there's a recipe for crime that allows you to create crime where none may exist? It's a true story. Check it out. Now, let's break it down in two parts. The recipe and the application. Part one, the recipe. All right? Brother Levert, the bassman, he broke this down nice. People minus resources plus proximity and opportunity equals crime. Say that again. People minus resources plus proximity and opportunity equals crime. Poverty breeds crime. Okay? So how do you apply that? All right, here's your instructions. So you start off with a bunch of people and you place them in an economically depressed area where all the good paying jobs and grocery stores have been removed and been replaced with gas stations, liquor stores, and pawn shops.
That sounds like Delaware.
The reason you want to do that is because now you have a group of people with little to no income and no access to nutritious food who have a bunch of bills and are now hungry. Who then go to the liquor store to self-medicate while other economically depressed people are waiting for the opportunity for you to leave your house so they can steal whatever you have, bring it to the pawn shop to get money to either feed their addictions or get some food. And that's how you create crime where none exists. Because creating crime justifies policing. And policing justifies locking people up. And locking people up fulfills the state's contracts that they sign with private prisons to keep those prisons at 80 to 90% occupancy, even though crime rates have fallen. And all that provides the United States government with a labor force that they can pay slave wages to, because in the United States, slavery is a form of punishment for anyone who's been convicted of a crime. That's the end game. Okay? That's the entire purpose of creating crime. And that's why they call it the projects. Because the end goal is to justify the criminalization and the enslavement of an entire group of people, making it legal for them to arrest our leaders, raid our homes, break up our meetings, and then vilify us night after night on the evening news. And they knew they lied. And that's why they call it the projects. Because the project was to figure out how to create crime where none exists. Also, black on black crime doesn't exist. It's a myth created by white supremacists to support the nation of black criminality. Now, the notion of black criminality stems from us simply existing within white spaces. Because us being off the plantation is something suspicious about that. And after emancipation of enslaved Africans, the very first law that went into effect was vagrancy laws. And vagrancy laws meant anyone who didn't have a job or means to support themselves or a place to stay was a vagrant. You just got free from the plantation. You ain't got no job. You ain't got nowhere to stay. Now you're a goddamn vagrant. And they're going to lock you up. Yeah. The newly freed enslaved African who didn't have a plantation to work on. And overnight, the prison population went from 95% white to 95% black. Okay? And that's how that happened. And that's how we got where we are. You know? And you wonder why Biden ain't pushing the police reform bill? Because the business of America is the exploitation of black people. This is the open eye on Patrice Gibbs.
Nsoromma in the building. 844-944-3953. Hit us up. I know y'all want to say something. I know y'all do. So hit us up.
And as we always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you, and don't treat those as a priority.
Treat you as an option.
I'm Patrice Gibbs.
Nsoromma in the building.
All right.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Tune in next week. Get it.
Stay tuned for Timeless Thomas.
Yo, what's good? Yo, thanks for tuning in. Us, you dig? Hey, yo, Dad, Tracy, you know, Justin, Joshine, Rachel. Yo, your body, your choice, your voice. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo.
Hey. Thanks for joining us. I hope you learned something today. I hope you enjoyed my passion. All right. Somebody said I do this just for show. No, this is who I am. This is who Jane Gibbs raised. Happy Mother's Day. Peace.
Yo, happy Mother's Day, you dig? Nsoromma in the building. Big out to my boy York DJ in the building.
What's up? It's Nsoromma, it's Patrice Gibbs, and it's Timeless Thomas. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know how we do.
You
don't, don't perform intellectual suicide for the sake of mental masturbation. You nation. Yeah. Man. That fucked me all the way up.